Hello and welcome to the 124th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by our other host, Jordan.
That's me, baby.
That's him. Jordan. This table is going to be... I slammed my fist down. Probably made some sort of...
Racket
on the audio. Jordan, before we dive into, platforms and, all that formality stuff, explain what's going on here. Where the fuck are we, bro?
So, actually, we are in my apartment at the moment.
Yep.
We're in my office area. We're recording from here because we're going to be working on a Christmas special. Because Christmas is in, 8 days? 8 days, something like that. So Christmas is right around the corner, or Christmas Eve, right around the corner. So we gotta get that.
Christmas,
content made.
Just a week away.
Yeah. So we gotta get that content made. So we're gonna be doing that after this show.
We are,
But
yes.
surprise, surprise, Synapse Misfire fashion, it does involve drinking, and it's noon. So we decided to do the show
I
first.
decided to do this first because neither myself nor Jordan is very excited about drinking at noon.
Yeah, it
So.
just doesn't sound very tasty. So this is the Christmas tree. But, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a Christmas treat for future Lexi and Jordan.
Yeah.
So it's Jordan's
us.
gay little Christmas tree. He's got the Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a Scrooge. I'm a bit of a Grinch. What can I say? Anyway.
A bit of no heart going on over here. But,
Once I start drinking, my heart's gonna go three sizes that day. Jesus Christ. What do we put this show?
So, if you want to find this debauchery, you can find it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed linked below. You can also find us on YouTube. We have a video platform there, and Spotify also has a video portion. Contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. And then there's Instagram and TikTok. So, yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
I cannot describe how happy I am. Words cannot describe my happiness.
Okay, about?
It's over. It's over.
The battle is... Did you win?
I'm not sure yet.
You're not sure yet.
But I'm 99.9% sure that I did.
Chris
It's
has won.
over. I won. So, for context, my semester ended on the what's today? The 17th. It ended on Thursday, which is December 15th.
Do a little math.
Yeah, so my semester ended 2 days ago. I turned everything in on the 15th, and it's done.
Done. That
My
hard-fought
project-
battle is done.
It's over. I spent so much time on this project, so much time on documentation. All in all, I ended up with... I wrote way more than this in terms of, the program, but, the final app ended up being, 29 different classes and, over 3,000 lines of code. But I probably wrote, probably 10,000 in shit that I added, reduced, rewrote, deleted, brought back. Because there's an entire, feature of the app that I had to remove because I couldn't test it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
so there's a lot of unaccounted for code.
Yeah. So it was a hard-fought battle. But, it's over. I did my documentation. I made a user guide, full user guide, like a booklet that you would see
With the product.
with a product. I made that. I didn't even have to make that, but that's gold plating. I'm just trying to check that out. I made this.
Did you see this, though?
That's what I'm saying. And
Professor goes, this is fucking shit, Chris. That's not what I asked
This
for.
is
You failed.
ass.
You're done.
I'm gonna kill you.
Fucking stabs you.
I did all my documentation questions and stuff. And that, all in all, worked out to be 54 pages of documentation.
Holy shit.
But, that's not to say there was 54 solid pages.
Like an essay, yeah.
It's not like an essay. I would answer a question. Sometimes it would take a page, page and a half. Sometimes it would take half a page, 3/4 of a page. So it's not 54 full pages.
Yeah.
So I want to be clear about that. If you condensed it down into just text, it would probably be 30.
Yeah.
So, but still, it's a shitload of work.
Yeah. On top of already spending months on this fucking project.
And if And if my professor fails me for God only knows what reason, for whatever reason, my lawyer has advised me not to continue with what I'm going to say.
Oh, hang on. Yeah. No, Jamie said do not say that. Yeah, don't.
Yeah, the legal has kind of been on my ass lately.
Oh, yeah, there's Legal over there. Look at him. For context, Legal's a 20-pound orange cat curled up in the fucking corner.
Yeah.
Dumbass cat.
So, it's finally done. It's over, and I feel nothing.
Are you gonna be like those people who retire and you like lose your purpose and you just sit in decay now?
That's what happened to me last summer, so I really don't want to do that, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we got some things in the works, though. That's what's good. I mean,
I got some things here in the work.
Do.
I got some stuff I'm gonna work on because I got other huge news that I want to talk about in a moment. I'm reaching down here. It looks a bit sus. Let me put this. There's a bar here on the underside of the table, and I'm putting my hand through it because I think I might be like mildly autistic. But anyway,
you're gonna put Chris in a fucking white padded room to do this podcast, even remotely up to snuff.
So I'm gonna be making some stuff for my own channel because I have huge news that I'm gonna talk about in a moment. And we got the Christmas thing. The Monterey video is coming soon. I have to do another cut of that.
Cannot
wait. The
main
main video is going to be coming soon.
Less excited for that one, but yeah.
But still
good nonetheless.
It's still a good time.
There's some rage moments in there I'm excited to see on camera.
I'll probably have to edit around those, like to edit them to make... I say edit around, and it makes it sound like I mean I'm going to edit them out.
Yeah,
but
cut them out.
That's not what I mean. I'm just bad at speaking. I'm going to cut them to make them, or edit them to make them look funnier.
Yeah.
You know?
Because just pure rage and I gotcha.
So, that's all in the works for right now. So the Christmas video will be up. When this goes up...
I was saying, maybe we should, like, actually talk on that. It's going to be up on the 24th.
Yeah, it'll be up on Christmas Eve.
Which is the Saturday or the Friday?
Saturday.
Saturday. So it'll be up Saturday or Christmas Eve.
Yep, Christmas Eve, so you can watch it. I'll try to upload it either early that morning or like late night on the 23rd.
Yeah, there's a lot to the video, so I'm hoping we can keep the length to a reasonable amount where it's not like, fucking Monterey video, which is going to be an hour plus. This should be a much quicker video, and I'm excited to see what comes from it.
We'll see what my fine cut works out to be. I want to try to trim some of the fat off that video.
Yeah, so keep posted for it, though. Saturday, you'll see it.
Yeah, and I am expecting good things from myself.
Yeah.
But...
Just got all these fucking certificates now. I'm going to expect good things from this guy.
I said nothing of certificates. I took one class.
Guy goes to school and they're just like, oh, big editor, Chief Eddie over here.
Not to brag or nothing. I did get an A+ in that class.
Fucking A+.
Oh my God, I'm a fucking editor.
You're a fucking transcript maniac over here.
What can I say? I'm a fucking editor. Which is crazy, by the way. This is the first, semester where I, really, really busted my ass. There was, the COVID semesters where I didn't try, at all. And then the last, few where we went back to in-person, I was I did my best to do all the work, but I still wasn't great. This semester, I busted my ass. I didn't miss any assignments. I was on that shit the whole semester. So my GPA for this semester is to be fucking 3.9 or something.
Yeah, something crazy. That's awesome.
So,
Chris is a bit of a late than never kind of guy.
A bit of a fucking academic. It only took me... I'm on my senior year here, so it only took me 4 years.
The way you enunciated academic woke up Oscar. He sat up, he was like...
Yeah, he was not pleased about that.
He went right back down.
But, more huge news. I'm a bit of a YouTuber. Thanks to my ThinkPad video and the success. Look, here's the ThinkPad featured in that video. It's a famous computer now. The video has 130,000 views now. And, it's now shot me over 1,600 subscribers. So I was able to join the YouTube Partner Program. So now I can make money. I don't think I'm allowed to divulge how much money I've made, but it's not very much. But still, it's money.
Yeah.
I think there's some, legal thing in terms of YouTube, you can't tell people. Yeah. But it's still money. And I love money.
Yeah. It sounds like we're gonna have to do that shooting ThinkPad video at some point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to blow up one of my ThinkPads. I'm gonna have to. Well, shooting the ThinkPad might be something to celebrate because I don't know if you want to talk about it, Jordan, but
yeah, I was gonna touch on it without going into too crazy of detail, obviously. But I finally got my license to carry, and I bought a handgun this morning.
Yeah, and he was showing me. It was it's a Jordan-sized gun.
Yeah,
but it's to carry. So obviously you don't want to carry like a fucking big fuck off
Desert Eagle,
like a have a Kentucky rifle shoved down your pants with a 60-inch barrel. Just...
Yeah, there you go. That'll stop them. But I ended up buying a nice little carry handgun. For now, I wanted to buy a lot more stuff, but it came suddenly, and by suddenly I mean I didn't prepare for it. So I was
Fair.
I was like, fuck, I don't feel like spending tons of money. I mean, I already spent it was like $500 for everything, all in all. So
nice.
So yeah, we might have to do a little bit of a double feature, potentially.
A double feature. We get Jordan's new gun, the end of the ThinkPad era.
Yeah.
So, I was looking at my analytics, and there's like 300 or 400 people that are subscribed that have notifications turned on for my channel.
Oh wow.
So they're gonna see a video come through on their notifications of like blowing up my ThinkPads.
That's good though. That's almost like 300 guaranteed hits. Like if I saw that, I'd be like.
Well, it's interesting because like it in my mind provides an initial boost for a video. So if I make something good, which the ThinkPad thing isn't gonna come for a while, we gotta probably wait for it to get a bit warmer.
Yeah.
But I have a couple more things in the works, so I think it's going to be a good boost. I don't know what this motion is, but boost.
Point A to B, I guess
what
you're
I'm trying to
accelerating
do.
turbo lag right there. Just
Yeah. So, it's going to be a good boost for initial engagement, and that's kind of like a big deal.
Yeah.
So.
Chris, I think you're just overstimulated with all the pretty colors in here. Usually the studio's like white, gray, and yellow. Now we have white, we got green, we got all the SpongeBob characters up there. A bunch of other various characters, a fucking Christmas tree, ornaments on the wall, like
a nice little picture of a boy and his son.
Yeah, it's me holding Oscar in front of a bigger Christmas tree than this one.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Yeah, so that was like freshman year, or no, that would have been like sophomore year of high school.
Damn,
I'm looking like a bit of a fucking a babis in there.
Yeah, you look a bit babyish, man.
Yeah,
You're a bit of an old man now.
Now I'm like, well,
back in my day.
Back then in my day, when was that? It was like 2017.
It was like 5 years ago.
It's like 2017. I was a goddamn baby. God damn it. But, I think you're just overstimulated with all this stuff.
There's a lot of stuff as a new experience. It's like when you bring a dog into like a meat, what do they call that? A butcher shop?
A meat.
When you bring a dog into a butcher shop.
When you bring a dog to the
and they're just like, holy shit, there's meat
Dog's
everywhere. They don't know. They're like, oh, there's like sausages over there. I'm gonna go eat that. Wait, there's big steaks over there. I'm gonna go eat that. But there's chicken. So I'm gonna eat that.
I'm gonna eat that.
There's a big fucking pig leg hanging from the ceiling. I'm gonna eat that.
Yeah.
And then they don't know what to do, so they start panicking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now. It's too much. It's a new environment. There's too much stuff here.
Chris is just like, he sees the PS5, he sees the PC, he sees the carpet. He's like, so many colors.
I see the cat.
Yeah, honestly, he's the biggest reason to go into like a panic attack. Honestly.
Yeah, he's a bit of a menace.
He's a big and huge. That's what he is. He's a definition of a big and huge. But
what have you been doing, Jordan?
So, Chris.
Jordan.
It might be no coincidence that I may not have attempted a familiar impersonation a mere seconds ago. When I was like, I'm a bit of a fucking old failer here.
Yeah.
I fucking started Red Dead 2 again.
Okay.
I haven't even beat Ragnarok and I started Red Dead 2 again. So here's the full tale. Here's the full tale, start to finish. Ready?
Is it like a plague tale or just a regular kind of tale?
It's a regular tale. No plague involved. Not yet. I haven't got to that chapter yet.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
So, Callisto Protocol comes out. I'm fully torqued. I'm like, let's fucking go. Man,
that was a game to get torqued for and then immediately go flaccid.
Yeah, I fully torqued it. I'm like, fuck, I'm throbbing. I'm pulsating, right? I get home from work. I'm like, let's fucking go. I had downloaded it the night before.
And just...
Dude, I launched the game. 20 frames per second. I'm like, no biggie. It's maxed out in the settings. bring it down to the lowest, just to see what I can get. 20 frames per second. Insane cache rendering stuttering. I'm like, all right, that ain't good. I go on the old Google machine, and I find a tweet that says, hey, that cache stutter issue that everyone's having, that's fixed. We just got to deploy it. Give us 5 hours. All right. I'm a patient man. Next day. Boot up the game. Same problems.
Okay.
I got so frustrated with it. I was like, I downloaded it on my PC too. Initially with the intentions of like, if it doesn't work on Steam Deck, I'll just play it on PC. I couldn't get it to work on Steam Deck, and I was just so disappointed and so negatived out with all the negativity around that game that I was just like, you know what? Give me my $80 back. I don't want this game. Like,
Fair.
Dead Space comes out in January, the remake.
Just buy
I'll just
that
play
one.
that.
Yeah.
I don't want this bullshit. I refund the game. So now here I am. I'm in a situation where that was going to be like my big Steam Deck game that I would sink another like 8-10 hours in, and like that would be my AAA Steam Deck experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now I didn't have that. I had no other games, and I wanted to replay The Witcher 3, but that got a patch this month, so I was like, okay, I don't want to start that yet before the patch. So I'm like, let me just... I looked at Red Dead 2's cover art for like a week. Like, I'm not even kidding, Chris. I would turn on the Steam Deck, I'd look at the art, and then I'd immediately go into standby and put it down and just be like...
You were doing the same thing that I was doing with my copy of Ragnarok, where I would be like... I would get up and I would look at the case for like 5 minutes, and then I would just put it back and go, can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
So then, here I am, looking at this thing. I'm like, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity. Let me just focus on Ragnarok. This will be my way of making myself have to sit at my desk instead of being able to just play in bed. So I played Ragnarok for like another week, or like another 3 or 4 days. And I'm like, playing it. And one night, I went to bed. It was like 9. I'm like, I just want to lay in bed. I don't feel like sitting at my desk anymore. And I'm sitting there. Boot up the Steam Deck. I see Red Dead 2. I go to click on it. I'm like, no. State of Decay 2. That'll tide me over. That'll tide me over. I play State of Decay 2. I wake up the next morning. I'm like, I dreamt of Daddy Arthur all night. Like, I couldn't get him out of my head. He was implanted.
You just had Arthur, the bar mission in your head.
Lenny! Yeah, I had him in my mind. Like, man, I'm thinking to myself about all the good moments of that game. Like,
I referenced that the other day for some reason, but anyway, go on.
I'm like battling this internal demon of like, play Red Dead 2, and then the other side that's like, don't, and then I think what had happened was, I booted up another game on the Steam Deck. I forget what game it was. Oh, Bully. I was like, you know what? I need something to pass the time.
It's like Red Dead 2, but you're in high school.
Yeah, I was like, let me play some Bully. All right. Apparently, even though I transferred all my data when I RMA'd my Steam Deck and factory reset it, I lost my Bully save. So I had to restart the game. So I immediately... it's not cloud save.
I was going to say, is it not? Okay.
Yeah, I immediately exited the game, booted up Red Dead 2, started a new save. I even tried before that, actually, before Bully, I tried to boot up my old save of Red Dead 2 and just, like, ride around and just be like, I'm just living in the world.
Just edging.
And literally, dude, edging. And then I full tilted, I full sent it, restarted a new save. I'm fucking at Rhodes right now. I've played for 15 hours in the last week.
Bro.
I haven't turned on that PS5 and God of War since before December.
How much time do you have into God of War now?
21 hours, I think.
God damn. Because I just started it
Or, no, I think
Thursday.
I'm more like 17, actually.
I just started it on Thursday, so I have like 3 hours into the game.
I was going to ask if you had... I assumed you had.
I don't know how this continues throughout, but I feel like they made it... Maybe either I suck more, or they made it slightly harder than the first one.
I was getting kind of railed a bit, but eventually I kind of warmed into it.
I'm also bad at video games, so like I think the normal difficulty is enough of a challenge for me. Like that's the only game that I've played that really
edges you on that line.
It really does it with the normal difficulty, just the standard difficulty, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because what I find with games is that you play normal, and it's baby mode. And you play hard, one step up, and it's like fucking impossible.
I could see that.
I feel like that's the case with most video games that I've played. If normal was just a little bit harder, or hard was just a little bit easier, I would have a lot more fun playing video games.
Yeah.
But I think God of War really fucking nails it with the hard mode, or the normal mode. because it's just enough of a challenge for me to not get frustrated,
But also to
but
realize,
also
like,
to really be satisfied with what I'm doing.
100%.
Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just gonna mention because of I'm gonna mention stuff we already know was gonna happen. The Thor fight, which was teased in the last game.
Literally, it ends with that scene beginning.
So, the fight with Thor was like exhilarating.
Chris, I've played 20 hours. I haven't got there yet. You spoiled it for me.
You haven't got to the first hour of the game yet. That fight was exhilarating, and there's a fight before that that's also really good.
Yeah.
So, I played that, and it's such a good fight. It's such a good fight. And afterwards, my heart was like racing.
Mine too.
My hands were shaking.
100%.
I was like, it was so good. And it's like, it was a level of satisfaction that didn't exist with the Baldur fight in the first one. It was it was a good fight. Yes, I loved the Baldur fight, the first Baldur fight.
And I'll still replay it and love it.
And I loved that game, and I loved that first Baldur fight. But the first fight with Thor is so much more satisfying.
So much more aggressive.
And it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's great.
Question for you with that Thor fight. I haven't looked this up because I've refused to type in the words God of War because then I know my...
Yeah, I was going to look something up. I was going to look something up the other day, and I was like, you know what, maybe I won't
I've
do
refused to even put that name into my phone because I know it'll start giving me shit. But I wanted to ask you, did in the Thor fight...
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if that was...
Put a spoiler tag on that, because that's kind of a spoiler for the details of the fight.
I suppose, yeah. I'll throw a spoiler on there, but I wanted to know if that was like a story thing or
no, that scared the fuck out of me, because I was like, I did the QuickTime event! What did I do wrong?
Yeah. That scared the shit out of me in that Thor fight.
That fight was so fucking good. I was just torqued, bro.
That fight, I literally was like...
I felt like when I was done, I felt like Kratos when I was walking back to the house.
Yeah.
I felt like Kratos. I was just like, I'm done. I've been bested pretty much.
That game's so good though. See, I'm hoping this weekend coming up, like for Christmas weekend or whatever, I can maybe get some time in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing it on and off because I have a Minecraft server going too, so I'm gonna be doing it on and off. But like, I definitely want to sink a lot of time into God of War. If I fall behind in Minecraft, that's not that big of a deal to me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I gotta get some more time under my belt in God of War. I hate when I get in this mindset, but I'm in the mindset where I kind of just want to beat it, and like I hate when I get caught in that mindset. That always happens with a lot of long games. I really enjoy long games, like Red Dead 2. I love that I can reasonably beat that in 90 hours. Like
it has to be engaging the whole way through because there's parts of even like Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2, I'll say this, well, we'll see what happens when I finish Ragnarok, but Red Dead 2 is, to me, the best video game ever made.
Yeah, I agree.
But there are parts of that game that fucking drag.
Yeah.
Gwarma. There's some, like, parts where it kind of lulls in, like, you know, earlier on.
I think Coulter, like, the first chapter, is really good the first time, but the second and third
time... The second time is like, okay,
like, right.
I get it. I know how to play the game.
That's the problem I have more than anything with it, is I actually meant to check if I could turn off hints, because, like, there's a lot of, like... prompts that are like, if you hit this button and then this button, Arthur will do this. I'm like, yeah, I know that.
God of War does a good job with that because they do walk you through shit, but they also don't baby you.
Yeah.
It's like they'll give you a walkthrough, but it's like as an enemy is winding up to fucking slit your throat.
Yeah. And it always startles me because then it will like freeze frame and I'm like,
I just might jump out of my skin.
Yeah. It's so funny. But yeah, I'm at that point where like I love it, but I'm also on hard and it is kicking my ass a lot where I'm starting to like I get into some fights and I'm just like, this is just bullshit. Like I just don't want to I don't want to do this.
There are parts of any long game that drag. I feel like it's borderline impossible to make a game that's like even like shorter, like even like 25 hours plus, making it like I'm talking story time of 25 hours plus, because game time and story time are different.
Very different.
Story time of like 25 hours plus, I think even at that length, it's hard, near impossible to make it engaging for all that time.
100%. Even like the best examples of engaging story throughout, like a Plague Tale Requiem, that took me, I think, 15 hours, and that's all story. It's all linear with the gameplay. The story part of it's probably 12 hours, 11 hours. And, like, there's definitely parts of that even I'm a little, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's...
Exacerbated sigh.
I think... But I think people... I think people focus
16 hours.
I think people focus in on the parts that drag and use it to bring the game down. That's not an avoidable... that's not an unavoidable thing, really.
Yeah.
Because there's going to
movies,
be...
Dude.
Yeah, long movies, too.
Yeah.
There's going to be parts of the game that are worse than others. It has to be true. 100% of the time, there are going to be parts of the game that suck compared to all the other parts.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how many times in Ragnarok, and I don't know if you're there yet, where, like, you're going to see more of this as it goes. And it's not bad with the modern hardware. They really reeled back on it from 2018. But there was plenty of times in Ragnarok where it's like, climb this fucking cliff face for 5 minutes while the characters talk to each other. And you're just like, oh my god.
I haven't really run into that.
Yeah, that shit goes on as it becomes open world, like, where you can explore all the realms. There's a lot of, like, push this boat, move this tree. Have this person go under the tree. Hold the other side.
Well, I mean, I've done that a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like basic exploration things.
Yeah.
What I really like is a lot of the mechanics that they've added in terms of, like, diversifying puzzles, where now you can use, like, the Chaos Blades to move things and, like, grapple, or not grapple. What do they call that? Swing, or, like, not zip line. Maybe grapple is the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah. It expands even more than that too, which is cool. They keep adding things to diversify puzzles. It ends up being a lot better than 2018 with that in that respect. But yeah, there's a lot of notable improvements in that game. I do enjoy it. I gotta get back to it though. I was thinking of finding a way to cast it to like the Steam Deck. That'd probably be more likely to fucking play it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play more today. When I get back home.
Yeah, it's a good game though. Good. I'm glad you're finally able to at least put some time into it.
I'm glad I'm finally able to put time into it too.
Yeah. I've been playing Red Dead 2. I'm doing a super slow playthrough. I broke my own rule, by the way. I set a rule at the very beginning. I said, I'm gonna do this playthrough. I will not revive my horse. I immediately fell off a cliff and I was like, fuck, I gotta revive my horse. Like, I'm not gonna let him die. And then Chris, after breaking my own rule, I'm already feeling bad about myself. I get into the craziest encounter in that game ever.
Okay.
I have never, ever had this happen in-game. Ever. In my 60 hours on PC and my probably like 90 hours on PS4. I rolled up. I'm going through near roads, right? I'm just fucking trotting along. And the Lemoyne Raiders step out. And they're like, stop right there. That's the guy, right?
Yeah.
So I did the sickest thing, right? I bust out my revolver rifle, bang, blow the first dude's head off. 2 guys come out from the bushes. I hop off my horse. As I hop off the horse, they miss their shot and they ice my horse right down. They fucking, dude.
What are the chances,
bolt action rifle, my horse Perry, his head just fucking rips back and he drops. Dude.
After you broke your own rule to revive him.
Dude, I'm thinking, no biggie, I'm gonna revive him. He was instant dead.
I haven't seen that happen ever.
He was instant dead.
I thought he would always just have like one hit where he would fall and you could revive him.
Dude, I looked, his health core was totally empty too, the core and the bar. I'm like, oh no. I book it, right? I run towards the raider. I run up to the first one. I grab him. I put fucking barrel to his gut, blow his guts out. He drops.
Good.
Second raider, I shoot him right in the knee. Then I lassoed his ass and threw him in the water with the fucking the little swamp water there.
What a menace.
I go back to my horse and he's just dead. I had just got bonding level 4 with him, dude. I pick up his saddle. I start walking away. I'm like, fuck, man. So I went back to the stables. I bought the exact same horse, named him the exact same thing, and I have him now.
What was his name? Perry, you said?
Perry.
You should have just named him Perry 2.
Oh, I could
Not even the second. 2.
I could name him Perry 2. Actually, that'd be kind of funny. But, so I got him back. But, dude, I've never seen that where, like, they gunned for my horse, dude. They just blew his face off.
That's crazy.
I was so pissed, dude. Oh, so bad.
In Red Dead, no matter how many horses I have, because I'm a bit of a Witcher enjoyer.
Roach.
I name them all Roach, so it's like, hey, I go to the stable, they're like, what horse do you want to get out? Roach, 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 or Roach? And I'm like, I don't fucking know what any of these things are.
Yeah.
I don't know what this one is.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of my point in bringing that up was I'm kind of doing like what I'll call a methodical playthrough. So I'm doing all these like little wanderings and little side stuff. Like I've been doing camp chores, just because.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. been doing camp chores. I've specifically, even though I don't like to, I don't enjoy mini games like at all. But I've been specifically playing like Five Finger Fillet, fucking dominoes, going fishing. Like
There's a challenge in that game too. You have to like beat all the five finger fillet people.
in the camp.
No, just in like the world. Like the camp doesn't count towards it.
Yeah.
And there's like 3 or 4 different ones. And it's like it was the bane of my existence because like I can get the rhythm down, but then they switch it on you, and I'm like, oh god, fucking damn it! It was the bane of my existence doing that challenge because it's not like when you do. I think it's part of the games one or the gambler one or whatever. It's not to the same degree as like the poker ones, like win 3
RNG.
hands of poker in a row and you just go all in every time and you win every time.
Oh really?
Pretty much. Pretty much. If you go all in, like on like first time round, like the first time you can raise, if you go all in, pretty much everyone will fold every time, and you can always buy back in because you're practically a millionaire.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. Yeah, so I've been doing a couple of the challenges. Not honestly, I've only been doing the fun ones, like jump over 3 objects in 15 seconds with your horse, run over 3 rabbits with your horse, shoot this many shots of this or whatever. Like I've just been doing that.
yeah, so like you'll do those challenges, but you won't do like the horse 10 challenge where you have to find and tame every single species of horse.
Yeah, no.
Because that also sucked.
Yeah, I can imagine. I do want to probably go back up to Coulter though and get White Arabian.
I never finished the 100% playthrough. I'm at like 95% shit done. Maybe I'll finish that at some point. Within my lifetime.
Maybe. But yeah, honestly, Steam Deck's probably a good place to do it and just grind it out while you're like in bed or something. But I've been playing it on there. Runs very well.
Well, I have it just on the Rockstar launcher. I don't know if I can launch it through that.
You'd probably have to like APK the fucking launcher onto the Steam Deck, which would be...
I could figure it out. It's not
Kinda
like
dumb.
I can't imagine it's that hard.
Yeah, I'd be more concerned about like their anti-cheat.
I'm a bit of a Linux guru. What can I say?
What can I say? A bit of a Linux guy. But,
I fell off Linux a little bit, honestly.
Did you?
I set up a Windows install as like kind of a temporary thing because I was gonna finish like development and do all the stuff I need to do on Windows, and then I was gonna get back into Linux. But now I've moved in, so now I'm like, I'm not gonna switch. But there's like just what I've noticed, and actually, did you have something to say? I don't want to go on.
No, not really. I'm just doing a slow playthrough. I'm trying to like befriend every character. I'm also trying to be a little like Arthur Morgan-y with his personality. Trying to play like the Arthur character.
Yeah, where you like change kind of over time rather than just being the nice guy the entire time.
Well, like for example, just real quick, I was riding through Emerald Ranch Station, and like some guy was like talking shit. So I hopped off the horse. I'm like, all right,
killed him.
All right, bro. So I pushed him. He fell on the train track. He gets up and he starts fighting me. Like 4 dudes get involved. I laid out every guy there, and then my honor goes down, and I'm like, they attacked me. Like I'm.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
What am I gonna do? But yeah, that's about it. I've just been replaying that. Did you want a drink, by the way? I'm gonna get one.
Yeah.
We done. We back. We here.
We do a bit of a segue, you know.
Do a little segue. By segue, I mean I got Mountain Dew.
And,
dude, double XP.
And I got mud water. This is from Jordan's toilet.
Yeah, I didn't have regular water, but he's a thirsty boy, so he settled for the mud water with ice. I don't know how I made the ice with no water, but
it has half and half Arizona Arnold Palmer iced tea lemonade. Anyway,
Chris, what were you talking about before I so rudely was like, do you want a drink or not, brother?
What I was gonna mention earlier, but I cut myself off because you were in the middle of saying something. I didn't want to change the topic.
So you cut me off, then I cut you off after you cut yourself off, telling me to cut you off.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how that went. Okay, that's a Synapse Misfire moment.
So, what I've noticed a lot is that there are no good, like, perfect solutions for operating systems. Okay? I think that Windows is great for compatibility, and you can do shit on Windows, and it usually just works, unless you're trying to do something advanced.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do more advanced stuff, Linux will just work. But if you want to play games and have ultimate compatibility with, like, especially now that I work a lot with Adobe products, and they will not work at all on Linux.
Oh, really?
Because of the shit ass DRM, yeah.
Oh, of course. It's always fucking DRM.
So it's bad for compatibility in that sense, but for ease of use in terms of more advanced stuff, it's flawless.
You can't have both at the same time.
But you can't have both. And you can do advanced stuff on Windows, but it's such a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to get a Minecraft server going last night, and I had to like set up environment variables and do all this shit to and it's such a pain because on Linux you just install the thing, do the command, and it works. But now I have to set up an environment variable so I can run the command, and then it won't work because I have to reinstall a different version of Java. So and then it'll work. You know, it's such a pain.
What the fuck?
So, and you know, then there's like Mac OS, which is a lot more compatible than it used to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely a lot better.
A lot better than it used to be.
And it's user friendly.
Like there's Mac versions of like pretty much everything now.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Adobe apps are like pretty much written for that.
I was gonna say it's like it's pretty much integrated.
And Mac OS is elegant. It's a very beautiful operating system that I've used.
Yeah, it's got that cyberpunk vibe to it.
But there's also limitations to that in a sense of compatibility in terms of like games, accessibility of hardware, things like that.
Upgradability of the hardware that runs that shit too.
That too. Like as good as the M1 is,
give it 8 years.
You know, in 5, 6, 7 years, there's gonna be like the M38, and it's gonna be
M16.
like the firearm.
You gotta be there.
It's gonna be like the M1,285,392, and it's going to be way better. And I can't just.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are no good solutions, no good all-encompassing solutions for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone can present me one of those things, I will give you some amount of money. I can't guarantee it will be a lot of money, but it will be some amount of money.
Yeah.
One all-in-one solution that has the compatibility of Windows and the ease of power use in terms of like being a power user, not power efficiency, that Linux has.
Yeah.
If you could present me that, I'd be a happy guy.
It's like instead of doing
optional requirement, the elegance of macOS. macOS is a beautiful operating system.
It's like
it just looks really good.
Instead of dual booting, like the true way of dual booting, you almost need like a little toggle switch, like a way to just be like. All right.
That's what my KVM switch was for a while.
Yeah, but then you had issues, right?
No, not necessarily. It's just that we needed a computer in the podcast room.
Oh, I was thinking of your hard drive dying, your dual boot. That's what that was.
No, so that hard drive is still just on the fritz.
Is it making any noise? Is it like clicking?
Well, I don't access stuff on it anymore because it is formatted in ext4 still. So I have to get the data off it at some point, but I'm not accessing stuff from it anymore at the moment. But when I was, it was not happy. But I didn't have anything installed on it, like operating system wise. I just had games on it. So all the stuff that I have that's like mission critical, so to speak, was on my SSD and my 10 terabyte hard drive. So that's like all my games, all my backup stuff, because it's 10 fucking terabytes.
Yeah.
And I've used like 7 terabytes on this fucking thing.
Jesus Christ.
So it's 6.9 terabytes of porn and 0.1 terabytes of games.
I think I prefer if you just said it was like whatever 6,900
69
gigabytes.
6,969 gigabytes.
It's all our porn.
It's all Synapse Misfire OnlyFans content.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna do a mass dump. We're gonna launch OnlyFans, and we're gonna have 6 points. That's 9 terabytes.
I took a mass dump this morning, bro. So, point being, operating systems all suck.
Yeah.
They're all bad. I'm a big Linux enjoyer. I am a big Windows hater, but also I need Windows for things to work.
I just thought about something, Chris.
Because the only reason I don't just switch to the Mac, the Mac Mini, for all my Adobe stuff is because when I do stuff in After Effects, it caches to RAM so that it can all load.
And you don't have a lot of RAM.
And I have 8 gigs on the Mac Mini, and I have 64 on my computer. I've gotten After Effects to use 56, 57 gigs of RAM.
Wow.
Just with like a small clip that I was editing. That was before I knew I could just drop the resolution and it would go down. Yeah. And now it uses like 8 to 10, but still.
Holy shit.
It's 8 to 10 for that program, not 8 to 10 and I can't allocate 8 to 10 to the program if I only have 8.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I was gonna say, SteamOS kind of walks that line where like Valve is doing a lot in the background to make things just work out of the box.
And so a lot of Linux distributions are doing that. Like
they're trying to get to that point. Yeah.
There is like SteamOS. There's PopOS, which does a lot of work for you. Mm-hmm. PopOS is set up for gaming. Manjaro is set up for gaming. PopOS, I think, is like very close to not having to touch Linux stuff at all.
Yeah.
Manjaro is almost there. There's other ones that are like a bit prettier. There's like Zorin, where it's like you don't have to touch it really. And even stuff like Ubuntu, you don't have to do Linux stuff to get shit set up, but like if you want to do any advanced stuff, you do kind of need to fuck around in the terminal. So I think there's a lot of developers who are going that direction, but they just won't have the proprietary compatibility of like Windows. I think the closest that we would get is like Ubuntu, where Canonical has like a decent. They're like a legitimate company now that rather than just
people
like a nonprofit or like a guy.
Yeah.
They have a relationship with Microsoft. So like I think that's kind of the closest we're gonna get is like an Ubuntu kind of with Windows compatibility,
where you can dig into the nitty gritty for the power user, but also just kind of hit
and
play
if that's the case where it starts running like Windows based stuff, then that's what I'll use.
Yeah, you might have to migrate over. No, for sure. Yeah, I like that part about SteamOS. I'm hoping to get a dock for Christmas for the Steam Deck so I can do a little more Linux stuff, because doing it on the trackpads and that little display
it's probably impossible.
But like, I like that I can just kind of be 1 minute I'm in SteamOS looking at the Steam store and like just doing basic shit that it's well optimized for, and then hit a button in a menu and I'm in Linux. A different version of Linux. So it's pretty cool.
Pivoting from that drastically, something I want to mention. Because there's something I added, but I'm going to talk about that next time around, because it's going to be a bit of a rant.
Yeah,
but there's something I want to talk about. There's something I want to mention that I was talking to Jordan about earlier while we were setting up. On, like, Wednesday or whenever, Friday, it doesn't matter, Jordan and I were discussing this Christmas video we were going to make.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be the peak, like, gay Chris and Jordan moment. Like, even gayer than the Target thing that we did.
Where we went for contests, where we went shopping for Swiffers, other house cleaners, and like food at Target, and then walked out together.
Yeah, like, that's like peak gay Jordan Chris moment. But I think this one tops that. No pun intended. Where you'll see context for this when the video comes out. But
I like it. Yeah, I like it without the context.
Devoid of context. This is how Jordan was like looking at his phone, like looking at like our plan. And
was the new guy there for this?
No, this must have been Wednesday because he wasn't.
Okay, good. I really hope not. Now that I think about this,
he wasn't, because we explained to him on Friday. I remember that.
Yeah.
But we didn't explain this didn't happen on that day, so this must have been Wednesday. So Jordan's like looking at his phone, looking at his plan, and he's like looking at our plan. He's like, okay, so we're in the cameras, the lights, rope, blindfold, earmuffs, alcohol, okay. And I was like, Jordan, stop. Stop. It's making us look bad.
Yeah.
So, that happened.
That tops it, honestly.
That was like the best, or like the peak, gay Jordan Chris incident.
The only thing that could top that is we went to Target and bought all that.
We bought everything we needed at the Target with all the food stuff and everything, and we were holding hands. So
yeah,
I feel like it doesn't get much worse than that.
Yeah, I don't know where we could go even farther down from this. Like,
I don't know. So,
yeah.
I think we try our best to avoid looking like a couple, but I feel like no matter what we do, it ends up happening every time.
It backfires every single time.
Every time.
Like, fuck, dude.
God damn it!
Man, I'm so upset. And Alex is never there for any of this either. Like, I don't know if that'd make it worse or better.
I think Alex, he introduces too much chaos and it throws off the gay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, derails the gay. Fuck, dude. Yeah, we have a bad habit of just, like, executing these plans in the gayest fashion.
Well, it's also the thing, is, like, it doesn't help that it's just, because we do this show, it's like, we'll do things together alone all the time.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Like, I was convinced for a while your dad definitely thought we were gay, and then we made the shooting video and he saw Let's See with us, and he might have been like, oh.
Well, because that's why, again, another thing was when we went to Maine, and I was talking about hotel rooms and stuff, and I said, he was like, oh, it's just you and Jordan. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I was like, and then I was talking about, like, hotel rooms, I was like, I was just looking for one with 2 beds, so we don't have to share.
With a divider in the middle.
I mean, we did share, but it's a complete lie. Had our own beds. As far as I know, after I fell asleep, who knows?
Dude, honestly, with how drunk I was, you probably could have gotten to bed and like fucking whipped me against the wall, and I was just.
I probably could have thrown you out that window and you wouldn't have noticed.
I was so fucking drunk. I know, seriously, like, how do you pitch that to someone? Right, alright, get this, bro. Me and my boy, right? We're gonna get wicked drunk.
Me and my platonic friend.
We're gonna get wicked drunk at like midnight in this hotel room alone. Sound like a plan? Like, you just couldn't be gayer. Oh, honestly, we also have lights with us. We have lights and cameras.
And I can't imagine what that hotel staff was thinking when we walked through the lobby with a big box full of liquor bottles. Number one,
rattling around.
There was very obvious there was liquor bottles. So you'd hear the glass like jingling, and it was a big box with Jameson written on it. Like, it was a Jameson box from the liquor store.
Yeah,
and they saw that, and they saw us go back out to the car, get lights, cameras,
and TV, monitor.
A monitor. They're like, they're shooting porn up there for sure. No one goes to a hotel room with cameras and lights for non-nefarious purposes.
Fuck, man.
I think it gains a little credibility because it's not one of those hotel rooms that you can rent by the hour.
Oh, yeah.
Those do exist, and that's how you know that they're shooting porn there, or it's for, like, going to have sex with a prostitute or something.
Yeah.
So, It wasn't that kind of hotel. It was a little more upscale than that.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, of course, both of these men came downstairs and ate breakfast together.
I was going to say, yeah.
That,
that was a bit of an interesting one. Yeah, that was not our best look. And then they came from, went to a bar together.
That's true.
After the bar, they went to before the bar, they went to like a donut shop together.
Yeah, we had a little day together. We next time we go on one of these excursions, we have to bring either someone else like Alex, or we have to bring like Lexi to be like, no, it's his girlfriend. Like, it's not a gay thing.
Well, I will both wear shirts. Yours will say like, I'm not gay. Or we're not gay. I'll wear a shirt that says, we're not gay, I'm with her. But then you'll stand on the wrong side like that episode of SpongeBob, and I'll be like, oh no.
Oh no. Or now they'll just think we're like a polyamorous throuple.
Oh Jesus, that's even worse.
I think that would be worse. I feel like less people would think that though.
True.
Because I think it throws off the balance.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't help too that our stature is very different. Like,
no, I'm a very large, imposing person.
If we were just both, like, large logger men, or both, like, my size, it'd be like, like, it was me and Alex. Well, actually, I don't know, that might be worse. It might be worse if it was me and Alex.
No, I think being around Alex a lot of times is like being around your grandpa.
No
offense to Alex.
No, total offense.
He's very grandpa-ish.
True. Even down to his grumbling as well. He grumbles a lot.
He's a bit grumbly. Yeah. So,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if there's a perfect solution other than maybe just like we're not gay shirts.
We'll get that shirt that Alex made for Christmas last year. I'll get one too. The one that's like, Yes, I'm gay and homophobic. We exist. I'll get that. We'll get that shirt.
I just want to know why last year that Christmas special Alex just came out swinging, just like dude, he just came out.
That's
full
another
on
thing I have to mention.
Swinging. Like,
yeah, he was. His gifts were so good.
So, to the point of the note you just added, that's what that first note is about. I want some context, Chris. All right, doing a little transitioning here about our boy Alex. What
Okay.
happened to him? I
Alright.
came into work on Monday, and I was just informed that Alex has passed away.
No, we got time. We got time. I was gonna do
checked
it next
yesterday.
episode, but we got time.
Yeah.
So
I checked because we had that intervention.
Friday,
Interruption.
Friday, not yesterday. Friday.
A week from
The
yesterday.
Friday before that.
So for you guys, that's like 17 days ago, or like 18 days ago, just for some context.
So, I still had like a project to work on, and this project, it was an Android project for my other class. So it was a different Android project, not the big one. And I was working on it, and the point of the project was, you had to like upload pictures of like dumbass animals. That was part of the project, and you had to give them like a name and a birthday and shit. And it was just about like interacting with Android interacting with a web server, basically.
Yeah.
And it was all like the professor had one server that both the classes were pulling data off of and putting data onto.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, and there's no way to tell who's doing what.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta put some fuck shit on there for sure.
You uploaded
And
his dick.
I didn't want to put stuff that on there that would get me in trouble, obviously, because like if he's a fucking smart guy, he could probably figure out who did what.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So I didn't want to do something that would get me in trouble, but I did want to do stuff that was funny. So at work, like at the end of the day, Alex and I came up with a bunch of we got a bunch of pictures of animals, and I saved them all to like a folder, and what we did is we all got in Discord, and we all were drinking, and I was uploading pictures of these animals, and we would come up with names and vote on them, and then whoever won would get to say the animal's birthday, and I would save it to a folder. So before this happened, Alex was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ham, I'm gonna get drunk. And I go, Alex, you say that every time and then never happens.
And you obviously hurt his feelings.
You never get drunk. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, I guess you're right. So that night, he went.
Dude.
Okay? He went fucking crazy. It was like every other sentence he said, he was like, I'll drink to that, brother. And he would take a shot, and he took like 13 or 14 shots. He drank like 3/4 of this bottle of whiskey that he had.
Holy shit.
And there was like, he's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And he disappeared for like 15 minutes. And he comes back, he's like, I got to go to bed. I just threw up all over the bathroom. So, and then I was like, oh shit, I kind of feel bad now. Because I made fun of him because he doesn't drink. So now he overdrank and fucking threw up. And then on Monday when we got to work, he was like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alex got very drunk and
Died.
Because it was weird. Because normally, because I'm a big drinker. Normally, I'm the one who's belligerently drunk, but it was Alex this time. So
yeah, I mean, I heard how, our other coworker, I heard how you bullied him because he was bad at Fortnite while you were drunk one time, and now
that was the first time I ever got drunk.
And apparently now
I bullied him so hard about his skill at Fortnite, which I don't play Fortnite, by the way, so I don't I don't have any skill.
Chris probably fucking sucks. Like, if you
I
put
bullied
on.
him so, or not me specifically. We, as a chat collectively, bullied him so hard that he stopped playing the game for a while.
Yeah.
I
wasn't
apologized to him. I don't know if
I wasn't involved.
No, Jordan wasn't there. But
I've
like,
heard about this. But he's really good now.
I apologized to him, but I don't know if anyone else did.
Apparently, he's really good now, and according to my other coworker, he's nasty at Modern Warfare 2.
I've heard.
So apparently,
the bullying worked.
Apparently, you guys bullied him so hard that like in fucking 2 years' time, he's gonna be on the esports league making millions while we're sitting in my fucking apartment doing this podcast. So.
And he was actually there on that night where Alex passed away, unfortunately.
That's passed away.
He was
We're
there,
not that lucky.
and he doesn't really drink, so.
I'm surprised to hear that, too. Especially because he went to fucking Mexico when he was 18 to drink.
Well, here's the thing about it, is it's like, it's a weird living situation with him and his parents, so it's like, obviously, he doesn't want to be, like, belligerently drunk in front of his parents, which is fair.
I wonder how that worked out for Alex.
I don't think his parents care.
No.
I don't think they do. And my dad, he was asleep anyway. He doesn't give a shit. He said to me, when I walked in on my 21st birthday, I got home from work with, I went to the liquor store after I went to the fucking DMV to get my license. I went to the liquor store, I came back with, all this stuff from the liquor store, and he's like, you're an adult, I don't fucking care.
Yeah. He's like, what am I supposed to do?
It was the same sort of talk he gave me when I turned 18, he was like, you're a man now, so just kind of do whatever. Because I never, I was never trouble. I never did bad shit. I never came home. I never brought the cops home with me or whatever.
Yeah.
I was never, So I imagine he was more comfortable being like, yeah, you're kind of on your own.
Yeah, versus if you always had issues with cops or neighbors. Yeah.
I was, even as loud and obnoxious as the events we'd have at my house would get, the neighbors were always like, oh, they're very good boys, very good boys. My neighbor, I forget, she's from Europe.
She's like, don't turn this fucking Europe off.
In somewhere in Europe, but she's very old, and I've known her since I moved in, so I've known her for most of my life. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, they're very good boys, very quiet. Okay, if you say so.
Yeah.
You say so. This is, we were huddled around a fire, chanting, trying to perform some kind of ritual unknown to us.
Yeah.
So I don't know what constitutes as bad in your book, but...
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. There's some moments in there, in the record book, so...
Yeah.
We've never had any issues at those. I mean, everything else has been fine. I still remember the talk. Not so much a talk, but, when I first got my FID, and we went into the shooting video, that was, the first time I talked to your dad like a man, one-to-one. I'm not a kid, we're not joking. He was like... oh, so you have a gun or whatever, and he was telling me to be safe and stuff, and me and him were talking about it, and that was the first time he's ever actually been, at least while I was there, so what's your plan exactly?
No, because
usually he's just yeah, bye guys.
Because obviously if it's
you could die.
Yeah, something like that, but obviously if it was someone that he didn't have a rapport with, and he didn't know that I was because Jordan's been to my house so many times, him and my dad are on a first name basis. They're buddies now.
When we were building the studio, the amount of times I was like, hey... I was actually going to say his name, but I won't say his name. I'm like, hey, dude, saying his name. Yeah. And he would say the same,
Yeah, so...
First name basis, he's awesome. I love your dad. He's great.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And you said yesterday...
And if it's if it's people that he has a rapport with, he's like, oh, I know this guy.
Yeah, he knows what we're capable of, and he knows... He's seen how we can be aha, goofy. Oh, the saw's out... right to work. There's a saw involved.
Put my fingers in there?
Shit like that. Or, what I was going to say was, when we were building the studio, and, I kept being is this right? Is this how we should be doing this? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. And then I'd break a tile. I'd be like, oh, man.
Yeah, he was never, he's never been, there's the whole meme of, your dad yelling at you while you hold the flashlight kind of thing. He was never that guy. He was always here, check this out. This is how it works. This is how you do it. And I'm going to show you how to do it. And then, you try it. If you fuck it up, he's like, here, do it this way instead. Yeah. He was always very patient. It wasn't God damn it! Yeah. You do it wrong! Every time!
Yeah, that's how my dad is. But no, your dad, I broke the first tile, I think, because I just completely fucked up the mudding.
I think you got more mad than he did. He was oh, fucking whatever. Yeah. You bought the tile, bro. I don't care.
He was just yeah, you see this, missing spot? Put mud there, do this, do that, bam. He hands me the flat blade spreader or whatever, and I pulled it instead of pushed it, and I was expecting him to be like, you fucking idiot, and he was just no, do it this way, and this is why.
He's really good at teaching, and he doesn't
There's
have
a reason that I feel we
could
probably tile right now. Not well, but we could tile right now, and I remember a lot of the tips that he gave
me. We could probably make a floor you could walk on.
Yeah, I genuinely think without his help right now, after how straightforward and honest he was, that we could tile something right now
And
pretty reasonably.
that's why I did a lot of like framing and stuff. I did a lot of work with him like before I had like a job. I did a lot of work with him doing construction stuff, and like I could definitely like frame a room and like do drywall. Would it be as good or as efficient as he
It would take way
or like
longer,
a dedicated drywall and framing guy could do? No. But it would be competent and it would be structurally sound.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's stick framing. It's like we've been doing this for thousands of years. 16 on center, the whole nine. Just
Yeah, like
figure it out.
I definitely think the way he goes about things is pretty awesome. Because like I said, I mean, before we did that, I had never really tiled before, and I feel like after just that one tiling experience, I could probably tile pretty well right now, just from some of the tips and tricks that he showed us and stuff.
He's a bit of an industry professional.
Yeah, yeah. And Chris learned how to cut the tiles. I don't know how I get the concept, but Chris actually did it. So together we're a bit of a tiler,
We'll tile a floor near you.
Tile boys. It's just like all crooked and like
it's all fucked up.
It's upside down.
The whole floor is upside down somehow. There's like one random plank of wood in the middle, and the tile is like cut around it. It's diagonally put in there.
Oh, fuck. But yeah, no. Yeah, your dad's pretty great. I don't know how we even got on that topic.
I mean...
the shooting video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the one time I've had, like, a stern, like...
Yeah.
Here's our plan. This is how we're going to do it.
Because obviously I explained it to him beforehand, and he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I figured he would have something to say about it, but...
Yeah, and he really didn't. His biggest question to me was, like, have you shot these guns before? And I was like, yeah, all the time. Like, I understand how they work.
Say, I'm licensed.
And I'm licensed, and, like, I'm not going to just hand it to one of them and be like, use that. Like, I immediately, before we even put cameras, like, I showed them how to use it. Like, here's why you check that it's unloaded. And I brought specifically Chris and Alex, obviously because we do the podcast, but also because of my entire friend group of our age, excluding our older coworkers that I obviously trust. There's not many of the friends in our group, or that were in our group at that time, that I would particularly be like, here's a shotgun, and trust them not to do some asinine shit. And they were two of them, so.
But that's another thing is, like, you have to be really big and focus on safety with things like that.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why that video turned out so fucking good, is because we had such a big plan because of the safety.
If I could go back and change one thing about that video, it'd be the audio.
I'd say audio and more camera angles. That'd be the only two things.
The audio on that video is god-awful.
Yeah.
What we'll do is I'll redub over it. I'll record it like I'll get the Blue Yeti. I'll redub over everything.
I was gonna say
all the sounds too. I'll go, and then man, I couldn't do a Jordan impression. I don't know what you don't sound like anything.
Yeah,
distinct
there's no
enough.
Distinct enough. Yeah. Alex.
I would say like in terms of in general, I feel like we even sound fairly similar.
True. In general, like intonation, I mean, we're from the same area, so it makes sense. But...
And Alex, I could do is he's just. I gotta go relax.
He's the dude from fucking Chowder. Rada.
I do like I don't know why I want to give because Alex is not a big man. He's very slender, but I want to give him like jowls.
You know what we should do?
There's been a bit of Alex slander on this show, and he's not even here to defend himself.
Come here, cat. Get on the camera. We need views.
Oh, look at this fan bitch.
What we should do is we should like remake that video with different objects to shoot and better production.
Well, we gotta do another shooting video. Like I said, we'll probably be doing another one. It's just we gotta wait for it to get warm again.
Yeah. So, but yeah. No, I agree. Alex has been slanderized this episode.
Yeah. Here's the thing. At work, there's a lot of Jordan slander that happens.
On the podcast, there's a lot of Alex slander.
And this is us doing Alex slander in a way that he can't defend himself. The same way we do Jordan slander in a way you can't defend yourself.
Yeah.
The difference is,
I
feel like I'm the biggest
Chris
slanderer. Like I think I'm the harshest on myself.
True.
The difference here is that all the slander. And I'm using slander in a
funny but joking
manner.
Yeah.
All the slander is fine because I'm like, yeah, Jordan, we were just talking shit about you, and I'll tell you like exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
I feel like you need.
And usually I nod and agree.
I feel like you need people in your life like that.
Yeah.
Look at this fucking dude right here.
Yeah, the slandering's
boop boop boop.
Grab him by the throat.
Don't do that.
He likes it. I'm not squeezing him. Just hoping.
I mean...
Did I ever tell you about the Facebook lady who like attacked me on Facebook when I was
Yeah,
like
because you
10?
like had a collar on him.
I had a collar on his fat little head, as you can tell. He's got a little thickums right here, right?
He's a kind of a fat bitch.
The collar was pressing into his fur, so it was like sticking out like this or whatever. And she was like, she saw this post that I posted on like the Facebook cat group, and she was like, "Can you fit 2 fingers under that collar?" And I was like, "Dude, I can fit like my whole arm under the fucking collar." And she was like trying to tell me she was gonna call the cops on me.
You want some?
I'm like, dude. Nah, you didn't want it. I'm like, maybe he wants Mountain Dew. You want double XP for your Call of Duty tournament that you're gonna be in?
Oh, he likes that.
Well, his fur went all over it.
But yeah, I think people fail to understand that if you try to do things to cats that they don't want you to do, they'll will just run, or they will attack you.
Yeah, he'll let you know.
Like I was trying to cut Chunk's nails this morning, or cut because he has a dew claw, like in between his thumb and his index finger per se. He has an extra claw, and it'll curve around sometimes, and it's starting to curve around. So I was trying to cut it this morning, and he was not he's not happy about it normally, but he was extra not happy about it. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let him go.
Yeah.
But because cats will let you know when you do things that they don't like.
Yeah, 100%. And he used to like those collars are designed for cats to break off. Like,
well, yeah, it's kind of the whole point.
They don't
as well.
make
because if they get caught,
yeah,
you know they're.
So like he had a bell on his collar a couple weeks ago. The reason he doesn't have one now is I just think he looks better without a collar. He doesn't fucking need one. But he had one.
I think he needs a bow tie.
Well, that's what he had. Is he had
like
one with a bow tie.
A distinguished gentleman.
He had one with a bow tie, and then he had like a little fish ornament thing hanging on it. He fucking hated that fish ornament, dude. So he got it in his mouth, and he pulled, and he broke the collar off. Like he ripped it off very easily. Like I watched him literally go.
Like if the cat can do it, I feel like it's probably safe.
Yeah. I'm like, people need to relax. Like, they designed them in a way where it's, like, it's idiot-proof. Where, like, a little kid couldn't grab them and be like, oh, look it, you know?
And hold them up by the collar.
It's literally meant to be like that. And then also, like, he doesn't seem like it. He seems friendly. But he's not like Chunk. He doesn't run if you piss him off. He'll fuck your shit up. He's a very aggressive cat.
But he's got that old cat energy. Like, he's like, I've done this too many times. Like, I'm not...
He doesn't put up with shit.
I ain't no bitch. He's like an old man.
Yeah.
You know, you've dealt with these people. You're an old man, maybe it's even like your grandpa, speaking generally, or like an uncle who like he was in the war, whichever war, World War II, Vietnam, maybe recently he was in Afghanistan, who knows, and he just doesn't take shit from anybody, and he's just got this sour expression on his face all the time.
Yeah.
But he's really friendly most of the time, but if you piss him off, he'll rock your shit immediately.
Yeah.
That's Oscar.
Yeah, literally. Dude's just got the most peaceful expression.
If you don't give him a reason to fuck your shit up, he won't.
Like, bring a baby around, he does not like children, which is why we don't bring kids around.
He hates children.
Like, Letsy's niece has been here one time, and he's just sitting there like...
Get this thing out of my fucking house.
If he can smell that you're under, like, 14 or 15, he ain't having it. Letsy's little sister just turned 10. She came by, like, a year ago. Dude, she walked by, and he was just like... Smashed the shit out of her. He's like, get the fuck out of my house, bitch. And he just stares at you. He's like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
He doesn't like kids. But yet, Chris comes over, very intimidating man for a small cat, and he's like, yo.
A little child that, like, I could probably kill very easily? Fuck you. Man that could crush my skull underneath his boot without even thinking about it? That's my boy right there.
Literally crush his head with your bare hand.
Look at this little dude, though. I would never do that to him.
Yeah, like, I always tell Oscar when he starts acting, I'm like, I could just, like...
I could kill you. The only reason you're alive is because I'm merciful.
I'm a merciful leader. But yeah, I just, like... I don't know, it's so true. Like, even Giraffe Man has come over plenty of times, and he loves Giraffe Man. Like, he just looks at this dude, he's like... Whoa.
Yo, look at that guy up there.
And he just loves him. But it's like, you realize, like, this dude's, like, 6 foot tall. Even if you stand on your hind legs, you're, like, 2'4". Like, what the fuck? But then little baby comes by and he's like...
Square up.
Put him up, bitch. He fucking takes off the bow tie, puts it down.
Takes off the bow tie, puts on boxing gloves.
Fuck, he's like that kangaroo, dude.
Walks up, Mike Tyson uppercut, breaks the baby's jaw. Can never talk again.
The baby comes running by. I'm like, oh, it goes to the doorway. Right back out the doorway.
You bring it back to, we'll circle back for the end here. It brings it back to God of War where Baldur punches Kratos over his house. It's like that.
Oh, man, look at this little dude. Do you think he would do that? Look at his feet. Look at him.
Anyway, let's round it out here.
Yeah, I think we're done for.
So, remind everyone what platforms you can find this thing on.
I don't know. Oscar's going to do it. No.
Don't be shy.
Actually, this might be the first time anyone can see how thick he really is. So, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, am I talking into his ass? Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS Feed.
He's
all linked
eclipsing us.
And as always, contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. And there's also...
What a bastard.
Oh, shit. There's also Instagram and TikTok.
You gotta censor that.
I'm going to censor his asshole now. Put your tail down, dickhead. Come on.
Hey, cut that out.
Instagram and TikTok, you can find us there. And then YouTube has a video platform, obviously, and Spotify as well.
That's it. Say goodbye, Oscar.
He ain't even fucking having it. He's like,
He was really talkative earlier. He wouldn't shut up.
Yeah.
And now look at him. He's getting shy. He's camera shy.
Yeah. You got fucking dandruff all over him, you old ass bitch. You need some Head and Shoulders?
In the winter, Chunk gets all dandruffy. He's just dry. I don't oil him up or something.
Where did you get the fucking oil?
Dump an entire bottle of olive oil on him. Anyway. See you guys in the next one.
Maybe Oscar will be there, maybe he won't. He probably will be. Boop, 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 boop.